Hi, this is Carolyn from All Things Effie, and here I am with another part to my rug tufting, or how to make a rug series. I'm getting a bit tired right now. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the tufting gun that I will be using to make the rug. Obviously, you might have, if you didn't order your tufting gun from me and you didn't order the ultimate tufting kit, you may have a slightly different tufting gun. I won't go through how to use a loop gun in this rug tutorial. I'll do another one that's got that. So this is going to be a cut pile rug tutorial. And we're not going to be using a 2-in-1 gun. We're going to be using just the AK1, and this is a genuine original AK1, which is manufactured in China, and this is the one that has been around the longest and is just the best. I've had some from a different manufacturer, which I ended up like they were good, but just not as good as this one. So for an extra like 50 New Zealand dollars, I personally think that this is a really good gun for the cost. So yeah, when you get it, it'll come in like one of our tufting boxes, and it'll kind of come looking like this. So you'll have the cables on top, and if you're in New Zealand, you'll get a New Zealand plug like this. If we ship internationally, we give you an adapter for this for your country. And yeah, so what is inside? You've got your tufting gun. That's the AK, and it comes with the universal adapter. So that means that it can be used in any country in the world. Some people do know this, don't know this. Because I'm Canadian, obviously I'm very familiar. North America is 110 volts. The circuits in your house run off 110 volts, and here in New Zealand and most of the world, it's 220 volts. So this is just so that you can use this in America, you can use this in New Zealand, you can use it wherever you are. You'll also get some tools, and sorry, I was just noticing the piece looks slightly different. And then you'll get the AK as well. Oh, sorry, and a handle. Don't forget that. So, how do you tell if your gun is the genuine AK as opposed to a knockoff or by a different manufacturer? I've seen some really funny guns in my time, which have been causing people problems. So I'm just going to quickly run through how to tell that it's the real AK1. Number one, the price, obviously. These are more expensive than the knockoff guns. So you're going to be looking at about 400 New Zealand for dollars. And yeah, you'll see a lot of other options on different sites and things that are cheaper, but this is just such a good gun. It lasts, it's smooth, it's just really worth investing in. Okay, so as I said, how do you tell? Number one is the toggle switch. That is unique to the AK, real AK, as long as they don't change the design anytime soon. And the other thing that is different, you'll notice there's no casing around these wires, which honestly doesn't matter. You don't need it. You only need the shrink or the heat shrink on these parts up here where it hits the motor. So it would have a casing here. It would also have a protective like heat shrink around this part. if it was a different manufacturer. And yeah, there's a lot of just subtle things. This knob is, if you can see it, it's just black with a white stripe on it. And other manufacturers will use a different potentiometer. That's what that is actually down there. They would use a different one to control the speed. So they're really subtle things, but yeah, if you're not sure, just ask. Email us at hello@allthingseffie. Okay, so when you get it out of the box, before you start tufting, obviously you've got to put the, I'm just going to put this underneath me, sorry, because I don't want to put it on the table. You've got to put the handle on, which you just unscrew this screw right here. Nice and easy. Okay, so to attach the handle, you just put that screw in there, and then you're going to get it to, I just use something long like this screwdriver, because you've got to actually like sort of hold the screw down as you turn to get it to sort of like lock in. Oops. Once you get it on, you don't have to take it off again, so that's good, unless you want to put it back in the box. Exactly. So there we go, the handle's on there. Handle is really important because it helps you maneuver the gun. So yeah, so how to plug it in. We'll get out the universal adapter. So you can see right on there, I don't know if you can see, it says input 100 AC volts to 240 and 50 to 60 hertz. So that is typically any household circuit will handle this. Okay, so you'll have this at, you'll have this at the end of your gun, and that is going to then plug into the adapter like so, and then your wall outlet plug is going to plug into here like so. So that's 3 connections. You got the gun going to the adapter to the wall. So then you plug that in. You've got lots and lots of cable length, so you won't get caught up in your cables as you're tufting. So that's that part. A good thing to always do before you start using your gun is to rotate the cog wheel and just make sure it's running smoothly. In this video, or in this set of videos, we're not going to discuss how to change the pile height on this AK. Typically it comes at a really good pile height setting, and you can kind of carve down from there. That's my recommendation, just because it is pretty finicky to change the pile height, particularly if you're going to be doing it more than once. So yeah, I just recommend using it at the factory settings until you're super, super, super confident, and you've watched quite a few videos and you feel ready to tackle changing the pile height. Okay, so with your tufting gun, you'll get a brand new threader. This one's a bit mangled because it's mine and I've used it a few times. And I'm just going to quickly show you how to thread your tufting gun. We could, we'll probably do this again when I'm actually starting to tuft, just to show you, but this is just really quick. Oops. So, just up through, you see that? Up through the nose. So up through the nose of the gun, through the yarn guide, loop it through, loop your yarn through. Oops. always so much harder doing things in camera mode. Okay, so loop it through and pull. And you will find that you might have to untangle the threader from your yarn a bit, and there you go. That is your threaded tufting gun. And so you can see here we've got the tip pretty full. You could probably fit one more strand of yarn in there if you wanted to, if you were doing like a really big area and you wanted to fill it up very quickly. So yeah, the next little bit is you will also get some oil to go with your gun if you're if you've ordered from us. And basically this is to oil the, I'm not going to do this with a brand new gun because it comes with quite a bit of oil on it already, but you're literally just going to put a dab of oil here, a dab of oil there. Oh, sorry, this is not probably the best angle to look at. So where the bar, this part is moving on the bars, like here, you want to just put a dab of oil there, a dab of oil there, and then on the other side, the top bar, because it's also moving, a dab of oil there, a dab of oil there, right there and there. Also, there can be friction between the scissors and the tip, so if you feel like that is getting a bit warm, your tip of your gun when you're tufting, you can add a bit of oil in here just to get this running a bit smoother. But obviously you want to run the gun a bit after you do that to make sure that you're not going to get oil onto your yarn. Okay, also another place where I sometimes put a dab of oil is in this bearing here, just to keep this moving nice and smooth. So it's important that it's not where, if you can see here, this is actually a bolt holding this piece to the cogwheel, so you don't want to wheel that because then that'll loosen it and it'll fall off. So you want to just put it right underneath that part, if you can see, into that actual bearing. I think it's called a bearing. Yeah, so that's the only other place I would oil. Cleaning, oops, sorry. For cleaning, you just want to use a brush of some kind to just keep the fluff to a minimum. I've had some people ask about how to like take it apart and completely clean it, so that might be a video for the future. But for now, we're just gonna keep it simple. Just brush it clean after each use. And you will get a bamboo toothbrush because that's my favorite thing to use. They work really, really well. So yeah, that is an introduction to the cut pile AK1, genuine AK1 tufting gun that we're going to use to make our rug. I hope that helps.